Rebecca, your incompetence has finally caught up with you, Victoria sneers, her tone dripping with disdain. The boardroom feels like a cage, the air thick with tension. Each word is a dagger, piercing through my chest. My heart races as I glance at the faces of our father's loyal executives. They stare back at me, some in disbelief, others in quiet satisfaction. I clench my fists, fighting to maintain my composure. I built this company, I snap, my voice trembling with indignation. I deserve a place at the table. The warmth of their support, the sense of belonging, evaporates in an instant. Victoria's eyes glint with victory as she dismisses my plea with a wave of her hand. You were never cut out for this role, Rebecca. It's time you accept that. The laughter of my father's inner circle feels like a noose tightening around my throat, choking out any hope I had left. I can't believe this is happening. One moment I'm part of a legacy, the next I'm nothing but a shadow, a ghost in my own family. After the meeting, I storm out, searching for a confrontation. I find Victoria leaning against the wall, basking in her triumph. You think you can just do this to me? I demand, my voice rising. You've always been jealous of me. This is about more than just the company. Jealous? Please. She rolls her eyes, a practiced elegance masking the venom in her words. Dad and I have decided what's best for the family. You've always been the weaker link, Rebecca. Just accept it. Her betrayal is like a punch to the gut. The realization hits me like a freight train. I've been played. All this time she's been conspiring with our father, twisting perceptions to solidify her power and undermine mine. I never stood a chance. I trusted you, I whisper, my voice breaking. Trust? That's rich coming from you. Victoria's laughter echoes in my ears. You're just a footnote in our story now. Good luck trying to change that. I turn away, fists shaking, the weight of despair crashing over me. In my office, I glance around, searching for something that feels like control. My eyes land on a stack of documents on my desk. NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, thick and suffocating, ready to clamp down on my voice. I want to scream, to rage against this injustice, but all I can do is tremble. As I shove the papers into my briefcase, the muffled sounds of celebration drift through the walls. I pause, straining to hear the voices of the people I once trusted. Their laughter is a cruel reminder of my fall from grace, a twisted symphony of betrayal. Did you hear? Victoria finally got rid of her deadweight sister. It's about time! Each word feels like a knife, twisting deeper into my heart. I press my palms against the desk, feeling the cool wood beneath my skin, grounding myself against the storm of emotions threatening to engulf me. I've spent my life building this company, pouring my heart and soul into every project, and here I am reduced to whispers behind closed doors. I can't let this happen. I refuse to let her win. My fingers curl around the edge of the desk as a fire ignites inside me, a flicker of resolve amidst the chaos. I will not be a ghost. Jessica, my former confidant, strides past my office, her voice laced with excitement. I can't believe how easy that was. Victoria deserves to lead this company, not Rebecca. I feel my blood boil at her words. Jessica was supposed to be on my side, yet she's clearly chosen her camp. The emotional betrayal cuts even deeper, a knife I didn't see coming. I clench my jaw, forcing back the tears that threaten to spill. They are all celebrating my downfall, reveling in the very betrayal that has shattered my life. I breathe deeply, the weight of their laughter fueling my anger. This isn't just about vengeance. This is about justice. I will take back what is rightfully mine. Thomas, my legal advisor, has always believed in me. I'll reach out to him, lay out the path ahead. There are secrets buried beneath this empire, secrets I'm sure Victoria and our father have tried to conceal. I'll dig them up. I'll expose the lies and the manipulation. I push the briefcase closed, a sense of purpose flooding through me. They think I'm defeated, but they have no idea what's coming. I will rise from the ashes of this betrayal stronger than before. I'll make them regret ever crossing me. As I step out of my office, the laughter continues. They will soon learn that underestimating me is their gravest mistake. With each step, I feel the fire inside me grow, igniting a desire for retribution. I'll fight back, and I won't stop until I reclaim my place in this family. This is just the beginning. You think you can just erase me, Victoria? I will show you just how wrong you are. The thought reverberates in my mind as I navigate the bustling streets of this city, my new home. It's a place where I can disappear, where my past is just a shadow. I embrace this anonymity. Each day is an opportunity to blend in, to observe, to plan. I've dismantled my former self, swapped tailored suits for casual wear. No one recognizes me here, and that's exactly how I want it. I'm learning the intricate dance of finance, diving into the depths of my family's empire, the very foundation that my sister now controls. The hunger for revenge fuels me. I can taste it, sweet and exhilarating. I meet Thomas in a dimly lit cafe, a safe haven for our clandestine discussions. He's the only one I trust in this web of deceit. His sharp mind is my greatest ally. I sit across from him, the weight of my purpose infusing the air between us. Thomas, I want to know everything. I need to understand where the cracks are, where the power lies. This empire is built on lies, and I intend to expose them. His brow furrows, but there's a spark in his eyes. This is dangerous, Rebecca. We tread on thin ice. Your sister won't take kindly to this. I lean in closer, the determination in my voice unwavering. I'm not afraid of danger. I'm afraid of doing nothing. I want to know every loophole they've exploited. I want to gather evidence that will shake their foundation. With a nod, he dives into the details, guiding me through the intricate legalities that Victoria and her allies have twisted to their advantage. I scribble notes, my heart racing with each revelation. The empire has flourished, but beneath the surface, I sense the instability. It's like a ticking time bomb, and I am counting down the seconds. As our meeting concludes, I feel the weight of knowledge settling within me. I'm no longer just a victim. I am becoming a strategist, a player in this high-stakes game. Thomas's insights will serve as the bedrock of my plans. I leave the cafe with a renewed sense of purpose, the thrill of revenge illuminating my path. Soon I enlist the help of an accountant. She's a sharp-eyed woman with an analytical mind, someone who thrives on uncovering discrepancies. I explain my predicament, my need for confidential assistance. I need to look at the financial statements, the investments, the tax returns, anything that seems out of place. Her eyes widen, the intrigue evident. Sure, but I'll need access to records. This isn't just a casual audit, it's a deep dive. I assure her of my discretion and the importance of her findings. I become her shadow, watching her dissect the numbers like a surgeon. Together, we peel back the layers of deceit. I discover risky practices, creative accounting that could ignite scrutiny from regulators. Each anomaly heightens my anticipation. This is just the beginning. Days turn into weeks, and with each passing moment, I position myself closer to the core of the empire. I initiate anonymous audits, each request sending ripples through the organization. I relish the chaos that ensues. Confusion spreads, whispers of uncertainty echo through the halls. Victoria and her loyal followers begin to feel the pressure, the walls closing in around them. I sit back, a spectator to their unraveling. It's intoxicating, watching the cracks widen. I craft a secure online persona, a ghost in the digital realm. Through this veil, I leak damning information to regulators and the media. I carefully select my targets, ensuring that every piece of evidence is meticulously curated. The thrill of watching my family's corruption laid bare for the world is almost euphoric. As I unveil each piece of evidence, I feel a sense of purpose solidifying within me. I'm no longer just a woman seeking revenge, I'm a force of nature. The gradual disintegration of the empire becomes my artistic canvas. Each financial scandal I expose is a brushstroke, crafting a masterpiece of retribution. I can't help but smile at the thought of Victoria's face when she realizes the storm brewing around her. I imagine her arrogance crumbling as the media plaster her name next to words like fraud and scandal. I can almost hear her frantic footsteps echoing through the marble halls of our family estate, searching for answers, for ways to cover her tracks. The sweet sound of panic is music to my ears. The days blur together, each one filled with a heightened sense of anticipation. The uncertainty I've injected into my family's world is palpable. I revel in my growing power, the thrill of orchestrating their downfall from the shadows. I am a puppeteer, pulling the strings with careful precision. My accountant, now fully invested in this mission, presents her findings. Rebecca, I've discovered systematic discrepancies in their financial reports. This isn't just standard mismanagement. It could raise serious questions about compliance. My heart races as I absorb her words. What do you suggest? How do we proceed? We need to compile a comprehensive report. If we do this right, the regulators will have no choice but to act. The excitement surges through me. Then let's do it. We'll make sure they can't ignore what's happening here. As she begins to compile the report, I take a moment to absorb the gravity of my actions. This isn't just business, it's personal. I'm dismantling my family's legacy, piece by piece. The reality of what I'm doing hits me like a wave. Am I ready for the fallout? The thought lingers, but I shake it off. I've come too far to turn back now. Each night, I return to my small apartment, the weight of my decisions pressing heavily on my shoulders. I review the evidence, the reports, and each piece of information I've gathered. I'm methodical, ensuring that everything is in place. I can't afford to make mistakes. This is my chance to reclaim what was taken from me. The following week, the audits begin to surface. I receive notifications, anonymous tips that my family's financial practices are under scrutiny. I watch from a distance, savoring each reaction from my sister and her team. The panic is electric, igniting a fire within me. I can almost taste their fear, a bittersweet elixir that fuels my resolve. I can't help but imagine the conversations happening behind closed doors. Victoria, furious and dismissive, clutching her phone with white-knuckled intensity. I smile at the thought of her futile attempts to maintain control, her desperation seeping through every decision she makes. It's a spectacle unfolding, and I'm the unseen director. As the pressure mounts, I prepare for my final act. I meticulously craft a document that will serve as the nail in their coffin. It details each financial misstep, every unethical practice, and I plan to leak it to the media. It will be the crowning achievement of my revenge. I handpick the right moment, choosing a day when the media is hungry for a story. The leaks will hit hard, and the world will watch as the empire crumbles. Just as I envisioned, the day arrives. I release the document, watching as it spreads like wildfire across social media and news outlets. The chaos that ensues is intoxicating. My phone buzzes incessantly, notifications flooding in. Articles are published, each headline more damning than the last. I can feel the weight of the world shifting. The media is relentless, and my family is cast into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. I sink into the comfort of my couch, my heart racing as I absorb the whirlwind of attention. The empire is unraveling, and I'm at the center of it all. The thrill of victory is overwhelming, yet I remain anchored in my purpose. This isn't just about revenge, it's about justice. Justice for the betrayal I endured, for the family that turned its back on me. With each passing day, the fallout intensifies. Victoria's empire is under siege, and I'm savoring every moment. I've transformed from an outcast into a formidable force, orchestrating a symphony of chaos with each revelation. The thrill of watching my sister's world crumble is nothing short of exhilarating. The anticipation builds within me. I'm ready for the next phase. As the dust begins to settle, I know that the courtroom awaits. It's where I'll finally confront Victoria, where the truth will emerge and the scales of justice will tip in my favor. I'm ready to reclaim my rightful place, to dismantle the empire that once held me captive. The story is far from over, and I'm at the helm. I'll make them pay for their betrayal, and I will rise from the ashes of their downfall. It's time to step into the light, to face my family, and to ensure that the truth cannot be silenced. I'm ready for the battle ahead. The final act is approaching, and I won't back down. They think they can bury the truth forever. I can feel the weight of it in my chest as I slip through